Hello and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 and the Survival Series. So it's been quite a while since I've done an episode in here, just because obviously with Calmsden and the tutorials that I've been doing, I found it difficult to come back, but I have missed it because I do really like this series and I'm hoping to put some time into it to try and progress. So I'm probably going to do a couple of episodes now and try and fit them in between Calmsden and the tutorials the best I can. With the time I have, it is difficult, but I do try my very best to try and get as much content out as possible. So in the last episode we were talking about mowing down this grass outside, which is a lot easier than what I was trying in the previous episode, which was quite difficult, but because I just started mowing there, I kind of just carried on. And yeah, this is always going to be the best place to mow, because look at it, it's flat. That bale will work a treat. We won't have to kind of go around the trees that were proving to be quite difficult. So I've kind of gone and trying to mow pretty much just like a square block of grass. And I think this is going to turn out a lot more hay. Now, unfortunately, the grass isn't fully grown, which is the only issue, because it is December. And we are going to be trying to make hay in December, which is what I said was a bit strange. I mean, we can give it a go and see what we get. I mean, it's better than nothing, and it's going to give us a bit of money. But I have got another idea now as well, since a few mods have come out since the last episode, which is to tackle a bit more on the logging side, because thinking about it, we're going to need to make a clearing at some point as well, because if we do build some sheds on the main farm area, which is what I'm tending to do, I'm going to make it like a small compact farm, but we can put sheds in there that'll store the equipment away, because we're going to need some equipment to do the field work in the field that I still haven't obviously got time or the equipment to progress on that front. So we're going to be using this area kind of to try and generate some money, and then we can do some logging at the same time, but just take the trees and just try and sell them. If I can find a sell point that just takes wood, I'd probably prefer it to do it that way than get planks, because planks it's just a lot of money, and it just doesn't feel like a survival series if I just keep doing planks. It just gives me so much money that it'd be 10 episodes and I'd probably be a nice fancy tractor. So yeah, I'm going to try and do it that way and try and mix it up a little bit more as well. So as well, I'm going to be using Courseplay after this. So when I finish off the mowing, which I can do whilst talking, probably a better idea to do, especially with this sickle bar. It's brilliant. All the moving parts. I actually really enjoyed mowing around with this sickle bar. But yeah, we're going to use Courseplay. I'm going to get up a worker to do probably the tedding, and then maybe the windrowing. And then I think it's only going to be a job then for me to do the baling. So hopefully by the end of this episode we'll be at least carting some of the bales to go and sell. I'm going to be doing hay because of the fact we can't wrap the silage, unfortunately, because wrappers are still quite expensive. Now, the only thing I probably won't look forward to is the tedding, so I am glad that I'm going to set that up as a Courseplay, because the tedder is so small. No, sorry, it's the windrow that's small. I think it is. I've got confused, but I think it's one or the other. One of them was really small, but I can't remember now because, like I said, it has been a while. But I'm going to guess that the windrow was the small item that I've got, or the other way around. We'll find out. I'm either wrong or right, but I'll make sure to do both of them as a Courseplay anyway. Now, I could set them both up going, but the problem with that is I then wouldn't have a tractor. And I do want to try and do something with a brilliant mod that came out on FS19, and it was a lifesaver when it came to logging. But I was thinking it'd be a good idea to try and pick that up now, because it is reasonably priced. We can actually afford it. We won't have much money left, and if we're using Courseplay, we probably need to keep in mind how much that's going to cost me. But let's head back. We'll go swap out for the tedder, which this tractor can quite easily work with. Won't struggle with that too much. And then we'll set the Courseplay up, but we're going to have to record the boundary first, because obviously it's a custom field. So just quickly, I'll point out that I did fill up the greenhouse with all the water, so it's got quite a bit now. It really is easy to have that water trough right next to it as well. I think that was a good idea and saves us some time and effort. But yeah, it's all full, and we're doing strawberries, so hopefully they'll start pumping out soon, and then we can start making some side money from that as well. So let's see which one it is. I think it is the windrow that's the one that takes a while. Or is it the tedder? No, it is. It was the tedder that's going to take a while. So I was right the first time around and just I doubted myself. But yeah, the windrow's a lot easier to use, I think. I think it is. Do you know what? I can't remember. I really can't. I know this is the Tedder, but it does look slightly bigger than the windrow. So the Tedding's easier than the windrow. Oh, we'll get there in the end. Anyway, let's get hooked up to the Tedder, which is this. They do confuse me because they do look quite alike, but I can tell by this that it's definitely the Tedder. There we go. We'll lift it up, hoping that it won't make it drop. It can just about handle it. Now, I haven't got an auto drive set up, I don't think, not to that field anyway, but I might actually have an auto drive here, but it is going to be useful to have something. So I've got two locations. You've got home and the shop. So we could actually set up like grass field, and then what we can start doing is using the combination between Courseplay and auto drive to actually send this going on its own way, starting a job off when it gets there. Right, so I've just got here. So what I'm going to do is off this point here, I'm going to make a little bit of an auto drive, and we're just going to do some single path. Just probably about here, because we might be sending bigger equipment along the way, because we can go further back than what I have done. It was just a lot to mow with the sickle bar, so I kind of didn't go any further. So let's just save this. Let's call it grass fields. That'll do me, because I know it's going to be this area. And then all we need to do is make sure that we loop it back round. I mean, it doesn't really matter if we go over the grass. If it was obviously crop, we wouldn't want to do it like this. And then what we'll do is I'll stop it there, and then just in case it needs to go that direction, we'll set that up, and job done. There we go. So yeah, I'm only doing this because it is going to be easier in the long run to have this set up properly, so we can just set him going. We can tell him wherever he is, go to this field, do this work, and happy days. So we need to now record a boundary for this field. So if you've watched my tutorials recently, you'll know that to do this, it's a pretty nifty feature within Courseplay, and it really does improve things. Now, this is going to be a custom boundary that I'm probably going to delete over time, because we're going to try and expand out within what we've already got here. But we just need to start recording, try and be as precise as possible around the edge of the field. And keep in mind as well, this is the boundary, so you won't mow directly up to this point. It'll always keep a little bit of a gap. So you do want to go probably off the edge of where you've started mowing. For example, if you've done what I've done and mowed first on no man's land to create your own border. So I'm just going to try and go really carefully around the corners. And you'll notice if you slow down and go more precise, you'll see more waypoints appear. But yeah, like I said, we can go further out. It's just the sickle bar. It's a small mower, so it does take its time. And also, I was enjoying the radio stations that you get. I was just chilling away, doing some mowing. This is good size though. It's much better than what we've done. So let's hope we get some good bales. Now, I did in the last episode at the end when we sold them, I did calculate it as if we got so much money from 2 bales, but I also sold that straw bale, so it was actually less for the 2 hay bales. It's just I didn't take into account that straw bale, because in my head I was thinking we only did 2 straw bales. Right, so I think that if we just that should be fine. There's probably an extra dot than what I would have liked. And it's asking me, do you want to save the recorded course as custom field, basically Courseplay 1? Yes, we do. And that's it. That's job done. So now all we need to do, and we'll try this out because we've obviously just done the auto drive bit for it, so we'll make sure everything's working fine. So let's get this set up then. We'll go to no course, and then what we want to do, just close that down, and we want to make sure we've got our custom course, which we have. I'm just going to put a field position in the middle of it. And then we're going to open this 4.1 meters. I think that's fine, but we will check it in a second. We'll start, in fact, we'll just do an up and down because of the fact that it's got plenty of headway either side, so it really doesn't matter about that. And we're not going to do any headland corners, so we don't need to worry about that. We can put a bypass, but it isn't going to see anything. There is a bush. I don't know if it'll see that, but it'll be interesting to see if it does. But yeah, up and downs, generate fieldwork course. Right, so we're going to just have to make a little bit of a landscaping job here, unfortunately. And the reason for that is, currently, at the moment, the way that Courseplay is in early development still, and it is in development stage, like I mentioned, even though you record your course, it sometimes works pretty well, but other times, it doesn't detect that there's a boundary. So what it'll do is it'll just do around the edge of the course, or you'll see it as it's just an edge. I have seen a comment about this on one of my videos when I was showing the actual record course. So to fix that, or to get that to obviously not happen, what we need to quickly do is just paint around the edge, unfortunately. So what I did as well is I jumped out, because I don't want this to cost me money, because of the fact that it's something that's just has to happen just while this is getting fixed. I mean, at some point Courseplay will let you pick the boundary itself and generate from it, like it did in FS19, but right now, just because it's only just been implemented, I think this is just an easy fix. So we're just going to paint around and make our own border, but then you still have to record your course, so we still have to record the boundary like I did within Courseplay. But what it's doing is it's telling it that we're now separated, as you can see, as a field would be. So that being said, if we now go back into Courseplay, you can see the problem that I had. And if we just clear, we don't need to clear the route, but I'm going to clear current course, back to active workers, create job, Courseplay field work, and field position right in the middle. Open that, 4.1 up and downs, and then we want to generate the fieldwork course. And as you can see, it now works a treat. So that's just a little fix currently until we can select the boundary. It'd be nice if at some point you'll see up here maybe boundary, custom boundary, and then you can pick what you want. I guess it'll be coming very soon because people have already reported this. So it's a small fix just currently, but it does work if you just paint around the edge. Right, so all we need to do now, we've got the course set up, we've done our own custom boundary to fix that little problem. We don't need the Courseplay menu up anymore. The course is active. You can see I've not got all waypoints up, just got the start and the end. We need to just make sure we click this button, which I've done, and then we need to pick grass fields, and off you go. I do like it how it kind of plays that roulette of the worker. Sometimes as well, I always see a carbon copy of what I think is Joe Exotic, but we haven't got Joe Exotic. We've got a lady bombing around on the Porsche. So he's obviously gone to this first waypoint, and now he should start heading away. Now it'll be interesting to see where he starts. It'll be interesting to see where he starts this from, because of the fact that the boundary itself is over here. I think he is going to go around the. Actually, he's up and downs a bit on an angle, aren't he? So that's probably perfectly fine. That is. But there we go. So he's going to be start tending, which leaves us to obviously come and windrow and then do some baling. But I am going to make that as a time lapse. But what I'll quickly want to do is jump over to here and actually just check on this. So I'll have a look at how everything's getting on. We're full on water. We are obviously active, it's running, but obviously it does take some time. But we've already got 289 litres. Now I can't remember what litres we need for it to start spawning out. I'm probably going to just drop that here. We'll leave that there. But we're going to need this. So let's go and get hooked up. In fact, do you know what? Just trying to think about this now. I'm going to have just a quick look at the item that I wanted to buy, the price of it. I'm going to also look if we can see if there's a sell point version just to sell wood. And if there is, we might go down that route quickly and just try and make a bit of cash. If not, I'll leave it for the next episode, just because I might have to find a mod where we can just put a sell point in for wood. So I'll just go and check this out, and then I'll cut back in when I've found out if we can do it or not. Right, so here we go. I've bought something that's actually just good for selling wood, and yeah, it's going to make it easier because we don't have to travel all the way up. But then if we do want to do planks eventually, if we get some bigger and better equipment and we can flatten that area out, we can also then go into the planks side of things later on, when it kind of feels about right with the equipment we've got. But this cost me 4,000. It's called Outdoor Wood Boiler for the ranch to use firewood, and you can obviously sell wood, and you can sell a few other items there, which is pretty good. Now it does take wood, and it just buys it at the normal rate. And the thing that I want to buy is about 4,500, so we do need to generate some money. So it is pretty nifty. You just put anything outside, click the button, and obviously it sells the wood. So I'm glad we've got that. So I chopped down a tree to test this. So if we just chop down probably here, this is going to be a lot better, especially early game. And then we just chop this into bits we can pick up. Probably about there. And now these trees aren't the best, but they can, if you take off the branches, it's not too bad. So I wonder how much this will give us. £75, that's more like it. That's what I expect to be getting. So it does obviously mean that we're going to put some work in, but it feels more, yeah, it just feels about right. And like you can see, 143 for that's not too bad at all. It's still good money. Definitely is good money. And we're still on hard difficulty, so there's no change there. I mean, if we fill up the little trailer, or even the other trailer, we're going to come to this and then, you know, make some serious cash. But the good thing about it, this item that I want, it drags the actual logs. In fact, instead of talking about it like it's a mystery, it's not a mystery. I'll show it you. So in forestry equipment, it's called this, the EGV80 AHK. Now, this was really useful in FS19. It's kind of got like a winch on it, and you can attach multiple trunks or logs or anything like that. But the problem is, obviously, you've got to remember what you're kind of pulling. We've only got this tiny John Deere, so we're not going to be pulling many with it. But it means that we can just drag it in front of there, sell the whole thing, job done. And it means that as we're clearing the trees, it's going to make it a lot easier for us to do so. And we've got this open patch of land then eventually to build on. So that's the idea behind it. So we need £4,500 for that. This trailer would have been perfect, but look at the price of that trailer. 26,000. It looks like something that someone's welded in the back of their garden for 26 grand. It's crazy. So it goes without saying that I wouldn't, yeah, I definitely wouldn't buy that for that price. But let's just finish this little bit, and at least we've got this going forward. I do like this. In that ranch pack that this comes out of, there's so many good little things in that. There really is. And it'll be perfect for this series as well. We'll be adding little bits as we go. Some of them are really good for like decorations, but obviously we don't want to do them touches just until we're near the end of the farm, I guess. Or as we go, we can put things in. There we go. So we've just made, what, at least £600, £700 from that. Can't complain at all. So we'll get rid of that, and there you go. We just cleared up a bit of space, and we could already put a shed there now anyway. So we've probably given him enough chance now to get ahead of us, so we can go and pick up the windrow, and then I can get some windrowing and some baling done. Really do like that wheel loader. Honestly, it's like, for me on this series, that has been the best purchase so far, that wheel loader. It's a beast. It's really good for loading bales as well. It really is quite a multi-tool. There we go. Lift that up. Got a bit of a front weight on this John Deere. I remember when we bought it. He's actually nearly done. It's pretty cool. Oh, he's done that already. I think it might actually make sense, you know, to stick the windrow on the back of that and then do some baling in this, because this is going to be tied up with the windrow. I really do. So what I'll do is I'll wait for a bit. I'll generate the course and all that, so it's ready to go, and then I'll cut back in when I'm in the baler following behind the windrow. Alright, so you can probably just make out in the distance that he's over there, or she is. I can't remember which worker spawned in now. I think it is a she, looks like it. So they're obviously starting the rows. All the tedding's done, and we're hauling the baler. So let's unfold this and we can get ready. Right, so I think now's an actual perfect time for me to do a bit of a montage. I'll get a few clips of the lady windrowing away, and then we'll do some baling as well in that, and then I'll cut back in when we're about to start loading some of the bales up to try and make a bit of cash. Right, so welcome back. I've just done 8 bales, can you believe it? That was pretty good going, I'm well chuffed with that. So what I just want to quickly do, is because we're going to need this, is I'm going to just send this on its way to the grass field. I'm going to try and manoeuvre everything over there to get these bales picked up. Now, we are waiting for the Porsche. It is coming, so before I do that I may as well just get this hooked up. We don't want to get in the way of it. So yeah, 8 bales, that is pretty good. And let's hope we get enough money to get that tool that I was on about, because then that'll be the next step. There we go, he's back. Send this one to grass fields. There we go, job done. And we'll also send this to grass fields, and then it will all be waiting for us to start loading these bales on, which will be simple because we've got bales that we don't need to worry about piercing. We'll get rid of that and we'll just park the windrow while they're on the way. So it has actually been a lot more productive than what my last few episodes before that were when it comes to grass work. It does help to have courseplay, it really does. Now that it's working a treat as well, it's something that I'm going to be using quite a lot to help me along the way. So we'll park this up. Now it is a shame, if I do get enough money I'm not going to be able to actually bring that equipment back unless I do 2 trips, because we're going to need to bring the trailer back. Now I would try and put it on the back of the trailer, but it won't strap down probably, which will then mean yeah, that it's something I'm going to have to go back for. But at least in the next episode we can go and start tackling some of these trees and make a bit of a clearing, and obviously a bit of extra money. But let's go first, sell the bales to see what we get. There we go, I just actually sent him to the shop by accident, so I'm glad I noticed that. It was go all the way to the shop, as you do. So let's start getting some of these bales. Now last time it did work out that I could pick 2 up in one go. What does having 8? I don't know if we're going to be able to haul 8 at a time. I'm going to give it a go. I am going to try. I don't know if it's going to work. I do want to move this though. Put it somewhere more in the middle. Because it's a small trailer, isn't it, there? We shouldn't probably be hauling 8 bales on there. We could, I mean, we could put 3 and 3 and then 2, I think 8. I think we could do 8 actually. So let's just pop this on here, and then 3 on the other side, 2 on top, and we'll be done. Right, so I'll carry on with this. I'll get all 8 of these on, and then I'll cut back in when it's all done, because it's probably going to take me a bit of time just to tip these bales over. Right, so these are the last 2. I did find a better technique to tip them. So just need to get these up and get them on, and we should be fine. Good to go. There's 4,500 litres in each one of these bales. Not the biggest size in the world, but obviously it'll do the job. And I have actually stacked these 6, the first 6, really well. It's a shame that these are a bit offline. Kind of gone a bit OCD I have now. I kind of want this to be spot on, but you know what? This will do. Make sure they don't tip off. And I'm going to have to move that last one, just nudge it a tiny bit, just so it's a bit more in line. That'll do, that'll do. So 36,000 litres here of hay, which is a lot more than what we took last time. So I'm definitely interested to see how this turns out. But I think that is pretty good going. For the equipment that we've got, with that sickle bar mower, and tiny little tedder and windrow, to come off with 8 bales from that patch there, in one episode as well, I think that's really good going. Right, so before we go in, 36,000, I'm going to say if I get £2,000, I'm going to be happy. Now obviously the bales don't sell at this point, they will sell at this one. But £2,000, that's what I'm going to hope for. So we'll see. $2,251, I'm happy with that. For 8 bales, that's not too bad going. And now we've got £4,472, which basically means we are the tiniest amount shy of getting that tool. So we definitely need to do a few more logs, but it isn't going to be bad. I mean, we made some good money from the wood, so that really is going to be the way forward when it comes to generating a bit of cash. And it's not going to be as much as the planks, which is going to make things a little bit more, let's say, fair, because I definitely think it was too much before. But I really am enjoying this series, so hopefully you are too as well. We're going to try and properly get somewhere with this, and yeah, start from scratch and all that. And with Course Blade Auto Drive, it's going to help us along the way. We're still not going to be able to lease anything, no loans as well, but we can use workers if we pay them, and that's what we're doing. So on that note, I am going to leave the video there, so hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help my channel out, and if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one, Farming Simulator.